In our last couple of videos, we've seen in Create HTML forms the ability to provide pre-selected or options that are fixed for the end user, such as with a drop-down menu or radio buttons. And if I had an option where I wanted a person to pick either like a yes or no, I could do that with either one of those. And I've seen it where people have actually done that, where they've created a drop-down for yes, no, or two radio buttons, yes or no. But it turns out there's actually an easier way. So let's take a quick look at how we would do that in this form that we've been creating. So I'm going to switch back to my HTML page, and I'm going to create a new BR tag. In this case, I'm going to show you with a label with the for options. So I'm going to say label for, and then we're going to create an ID of management in just a minute. And I'm going to have here an option that says something like, do you manage others? So this is a kind of simple little option right here that we can pick. And it's going to be obviously yes or no. Do you manage people? Yes, I manage people. No, I don't. And then we'll see how we can move this next tag to show the checkbox. And that's what we're going to create, is a checkbox. And a checkbox is known as a boolean option. It's either checked or it's unchecked. And so if I manage others, then I'm going to check it. If I don't, I'm not going to have it checked. And I'm going to use the input tag once again. But for my type, I'm going to have a checkbox. My name is going to be management. ID is going to be management. And I'm going to need to give a value. And the value I'm going to put is yes. And you'll see why in just a second. All right, so here I have my tag completed. Switch back to my HTML page and reload it. You'll see right here, do I manage others, or do you manage others? I can do a click on it. It puts a little box with a check. That's the default style inside of Chrome. I can uncheck it. I can click on my label. I don't have to click on just that little text box. Once again, huge advantage using labels, just as we saw with the radio button. Now, a lot of people, they like to put the checkbox before the question. That's real easy to fix. I can come over here into my HTML. And I'm just going to cut and paste it, swapping that order. I reload it and you see it like that. So either way works. Most people prefer checkboxes and radio buttons to be before the label, and that's what it looks like. Now, a couple things I do want to just let you know about. You just got to know about checkbox. If I have no check in it, that name and value does not get sent. So it's very easy for the form processor to know to just ignore it because it's not there. If it is checked, like you see here, then it's going to send the name and the value both. And that's why we have to specify that value equals and then give it some sort of value. Now I'm using yes here to say yes, I'm in management. I could give it some other value. I've seen a lot of different options over the years. I'm just going to uncheck this real quick because I want to show you how we can make this default selected. And once again, in my input tag, I'm going to use a Boolean attribute. And it's going to be just like with the radio button, it's going to be checked. Come back here, and now when I reload, you'll notice that by default that checkbox is checked. So it's very easy to create a checkbox, very easy to work with them. If I have multiple checkboxes because it's a checkbox, then each one needs to get their own name because they'll all be referenced individually, and each one can be checked and unchecked individually. I don't have to worry about grouping them together like I do with a radio button. And so that's how we'll use checkboxes in an HTML form.